Hey, Matt, welcome back for
Thank you.
part two of our conversation. Um, unexpected to both of us. Thank you, technology. We had a little glitch a couple of days ago. So we're going to break this up into two parts. Hopefully by now everyone's enjoyed seeing the first part and they've come back for some more.
Hell
Because,
yeah.
I mean, who can have enough Matt Allocate, right? So
Exactly.
there's never
Love that. Yeah.
there's never enough. There's never enough. So like last time we were talking about, how you guys did those TikTok videos,
Yeah.
right? And because you had, issues with the recording company and you couldn't get product out, and things were kind of, just kind of stalled. How'd the idea of doing the TikTok come about, and how'd you choose some of the songs? Right? You got some covers
Um,
there and
yeah,
all of
yeah, yeah.
that.
I think with it, we had done like a couple when everyone was jumping on TikTok, but we didn't really enjoy TikTok that much at the time. I don't know if we still do enjoy making the content because, it just pulls away from the actual focus of what the music should be about. Do you know what I mean? Being in a band should be about writing your music, playing gigs, not
Yeah.
messing around with TikTok. Anyway, we decided to do it. We decided to dive in because we felt we needed to give our fans something whilst we can't give them our own music. So we just put up a little sort of a poll and sort of a Q&A on our Instagram and asked the fans like, what songs do you want us to cover, and we'll make them in our own style. So they pitched in with a few ideas. We had to listen to some of the songs. If we realized, okay, we can make this like work in the White Lake style, let's do it, and we gave it a shot. Some of them did really well, some of them didn't, but that's the fun and gamble with TikTok.
Yeah. Well, were there any of them? When you were in the process of choosing them, were any of them rejected due to just not having that White Lakes feel that you could apply to it, or were they just overly complex? Because the three of you, what were some of the deciding factors on which ones you chose?
It would normally be which we'd normally sit down for a session and in like a day and come out with sort of like 6 to 8 covers kind of done and dusted. Because they're only like 30-second clips, so it's not too intense to get them, roll them out. And we'd sit there and kind of listen to them. Whichever ones would like the top 4 that we get most excited about would then go in video, and the other ones would go on the back burner for if we didn't have time, say we're doing too many shows or the boys are busy. Do you know what I mean? Then we can have those as back burner ones that we can use at another time. But we did have some fun like turning rap music into band music and stuff like that. We did Doja by Central C, which was really fun and probably one of my favorite ones that we've done because it was really kind of heavy. It was like Slaves, the sort of punk band from the UK. They did a cover of a grime artist from the UK, Skepta, one of his songs, Shut Down. And it kind of has the similar sort of feel and energy to when Slaves did that to that rap song.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, I know that last summer you guys played a number of festivals. Given the catalog that you have, on any show, did you pull out any of the covers at any of your shows? Like, is there an opportunity if I come to see if I were there, or if someone comes to see you this summer while you're out on tour, and we should talk about some of those appearances, might they catch a cover or two?
So we had discussed it when a few of them were sort of doing fairly well and picking up some decent numbers. We were discussing it, but I think in order for us to do one of those, I think one would have to kind of go viral. Do you know what I mean? A couple of millions of views and us gain 20, 30, 40, 50,000 followers. And then, because of the majority of those guys have then followed you because of that. And so if you don't do it at your show, then they might never come back. So if it was to happen like that, 100%. But at the time in present, we like to dazzle people with our original music.
Well, there you go. And so for any friends showing up to see the White Lakes this summer, you better bring a sign and make sure that Matt can read it. There's got to be demand for those covers.
Exactly.
So what's this summer into the fall looking like for you guys to get out there and play live?
So we've got a few festivals, some very decent ones as well this year. I think because we had a really good festival run last year. And things have really picked up. So I think we've been invited back by a few of the people who took us to a few of the other festivals, but they've thrown us on the other ones that we didn't play, and they've put us on some really nice slots. So I think we played Bournemouth Sevens. It's on the south coast of the UK, which is a fairly big festival. I think it's 30,000 people. We're on the Sunday between 5 and 8 p.m. They haven't sent us a confirmed slot yet, but we announced that literally yesterday. We announced that, so really excited for that one. It will be, I think, it will be quite a hard slot because there's a lot of DJs at this festival, and then we're one of the only bands. So it's either going to be a great, everyone will be like, "Oh my god, finally a band," or it's going to be like, "Get off the stage." And yeah, you never know.
Well, you
But I
might
think
just
our
be
energy
right.
is fine enough. We got some breakbeat tunes. We got some drum and bass tempo songs. So I'm sure that people can still dance to those.
Well, and maybe that's a good reason to have at least one of those
Mm.
more DJ-esque dance kind of covers in your
Yeah.
repertoire.
100%.
And I think the last time we were talking, you've got some headlining shows coming up, like later summer or into
Yes.
the fall.
Yeah. So we're starting to. I think we've just booked in a Birmingham show, which will be the biggest Birmingham show we've done. So I think it's 250 cap. And we're looking to book in a few more headline shows around the country. I think we're in London this Saturday, which will be fun. Supporting someone, I can't remember their name. And then yeah, we're going to be. So we'll be heading out on a few headline dates for sure. Not 100% sure what locations as of yet. We're just going to speak to a couple of booking agents and promoters and see if it can all fit in a nice, neat pile so that we don't have to be hiring vans for just a day or two. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. It gets expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of curious, and we talked about this. A lot the rebirth of vinyl and record
Mm,
store day has been incredible. Have you guys
yeah.
given any thought to some vinyl releases, maybe for record store
Yeah.
day? Getting out there and meeting fans at record store day,
Mm,
things like that. I mean, I'm just looking for ways that fans can connect with you guys.
yeah. No, 100%. I mean, we've always wanted to do vinyl. I've got a vinyl player in my living room. I love my vinyl. Whenever I go and see a band that I've followed for ages, and I always pick up like one of their vinyls at the shows because I just think it's great. It's just cool. It's aesthetically pleasing as well. But yeah, we have been thinking about it. I think with the releases we're doing for the rest of the year, it was kind of near enough be a song a month until the end of the year. I think we might just do like a little collection of songs then and kind of just stick them on vinyl. So everything so far of the White Lakes. So White Lakes, I don't know, part one, and then there'll be part two, maybe. So instead of albums as such, just constantly release singles and put them in a little collection. And that's like the time period, that's the White Lakes in that era done, and then move on to the next. Because we're ever changing. All the songs we write are just constantly changing, and it's taking us in different directions. So an album, obviously, if we sit down and write a body of work over the space of sort of like 6 months, it's all obviously going to sound in that sort of thing. But the music that we have now is a collection of the last sort of 2-3 years. So it's just ever changing. And even the stuff we're writing now is completely different to what we were writing 6 to 8 months ago. So,
Yeah, I mean, I definitely Archie has brought some stylistic influence
mm,
into the direction of the band from what I'm learning from you, giving you. I think we talked about a kind of a jazz kind of feel, kind of just his background has
yeah.
infused some influence.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, he's just very cool, calm, and collected. He brings the calmness to the White Lakes. I think that with my severe ADHD and lively personality, he just brings the Zen energy that's kind of needed. It was the perfect balance because kind of gets pulled between both of us. If he's just with me, he's energy and crazy, and if he's just with Archie, he's just Zen. So Gabs is like sat in the middle of this little teetering thing, and we got Archie one side, me the other. Yeah, it's
And
good. It's
it'd
like
be
yin and
interesting to
yang. We kind of
yeah, because
just.
it'd be interesting to watch him for a day, going back and forth between the two of you.
That's great. We could separate two different rooms, have a live stream feed going, just send him in to each room and just watch him change.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was going to ask you, if any of the gigs you're going to be doing might be live streamed, or there might be some live stream opportunities for people to either see you guys online, or
Mm.
even able to help support you online.
Yeah, so we were thinking of doing that for the Birmingham show. We need to figure out the sort of the sort of ins and outs of the venue, just because I know that the ceiling's quite low in the Rainbow. So it's just making sure that we can get the camera angles and stuff and figure out the logistics around doing a live stream like that. Because I know we've got like a few fans in the States and across Europe and stuff. So it'd be really cool for everyone to kind of have a chance to watch it if they obviously, because no one's going to fly in from America or Germany to come and see us play a 250 cap show. Do you know what I mean? So if they did, fair play. But that's just send us £1,000 instead of paying for £1,000 flight. That'll be a lot better for us.
That's a great way to support you. I mean, that we talked last time, because I think when we first sat down about a year ago, there's a sense of excitement about the potential of coming to the States, and I know you've been growing an audience over here, and hopefully this conversation will get out and definitely for anyone watching, you've got to go out and check out the White Lakes for sure if you've never listened to their music. But how about aspirations to getting onto a U.S. tour and coming over to the States?
It's always been something. Yeah, it's always been something that we want to do. I think any band in the UK always wants to cross the pond and play some shows in America. But yeah, I mean, there's talks, but end of the day, it just comes down to the finances of it. And because people don't realize there's obviously van hire, equipment hire, there's the visas to pay for, there's obviously flying over your crew as well and paying for their visas and all of their bits and bobs. All the petrol or gas as you guys say, when you're driving around America, because it's a very big place. It's a very big place. So it just comes down logistically. If we can make it work, if we save up and go and just drive around and play these small little clubs to maybe even nobody, it'll still be an amazing experience. But we just need to make sure that we can eat and survive when we get home as well. That's the main one, I think.
Well, you hear that. Anybody in the States who wants to put them up for a while, I mean, they don't eat much. Anyone who wants to help, please support them. I mean, I think, you're in a situation similar to other bands. And then we talked about, Kid Capici was here in my area, and they were opening for nothing but Thieves. And now they're coming back on their own headline show, playing a much smaller room, of course, but they found a way to do it. And I think it's because they had some rabid fans behind them. So definitely reason to support them. One thing I always like to find out, we all sit around and we talk to our friends and we talk about, what you're up to and what you're listening to. Who are like the top 3 artists that you may be listening to right now that you're just really digging, that if you were just sitting around with a group of friends, you're like, oh my God, you've got to hear these people. I like to open up the viewers to new artists.
Oh, I would say one of my top artists at the moment. They used to be sort of an indie rock band in the UK, coming out of, I think, Brighton area, again, South Coast. And they're called Noisy now, and they are like a drum and bass band, but with guitars and a full band. So it's really cool. It's very, very different. I mean, they're really on the come up. They've just come off a few sort of big tour slots. They're just jumping on a UK and Europe headline tour as well. So they've really sort of been growing their fan, and they're just crazy cool. One of the best live sounding acts that I've heard as well. Sonically, everything, it just sounded like someone had pressed play and it was nice and loud, and the energy that they bring to the shows is next level as well. It's really cool. Who is it? A song called Steps by Thieves, and that's not Thieves with a TH, that's Thieves with a F. Again, kind of jazzy, liquid drum and bass, I'd say. But yeah, it's just a very relaxing, nice song. There's so many different elements, so much different musical influence in it. With the drum and bass drums, with the sort of jazzy trumpet and guitar, the nice sort of synth work in there, and then some really good rapping in there as well. But kind of soft spoken word styled rap, which I really am into at the moment because I think it's really cool. And I'm kind of jealous because I wish I was able to do it as well as they can. And then finally, let me just double check my phone because I've forgotten what one of the ones that I'm actually listening to is called. So actually I found this yesterday. It's Catfish and the Bottomans, old drummer, his new band called Hearts. It's a song called Make Somebody Run. Just purely because, one, the chorus is super catchy, but because his drums are just like the way his brain comes up with these drum patterns are. I have no clue. It's like someone's got the MIDI and just dragged their key all the way down, and it just kind of works for him. And he's like an octopus. You know what I mean?
Wow. No, those I'll have to check those out myself. That if yeah, I'm not sure we talked about this last year, but if you had an opportunity to work with one or two different artists, everybody has this kind of dream collaboration. Who are a couple of artists that if there was an opportunity, you might want to try and work with?
Um, ooh, I would have always loved to, yeah, Chris Martin, I think. Just because his brain for a good pop song is second to none, really. And the way I'd like to just sit down and chat to him how they thought of their adaptation, because so many bands after their first album will follow up with the same similar sounding second album and third album, and then they plateau. But Coldplay just seemed to change and just kind of go with the times, and I want to sit down and chat to him about that first and foremost, and then dive in and show him some of my stuff. He's definitely someone that I've always wanted to work with on a song. Someone I'd love to collab with, and I think would be really fun, is Youngblood, this sort of like punk artist from the UK. I think that both our energy in one song would be maybe a bit too much for everyone, but I mean, we might really like it. But he's definitely someone I'd love to.
It could be combustible. You might have to bring Archie in to calm him down a little bit.
Yeah, I'll just sit Archie in the corner. Or between us, maybe.
Maybe, hey, okay, here's the way you guys might be able to make some money. Here's a live stream for you. If Archie has that kind of control, maybe you just sit him down. Like, remember they used to put webcams on goldfish bowls?
Yeah.
Just do a static shot of Archie for a long period of time. Kind of like, I don't know if they do it over there, but here in the States at Christmas time, they'll put up a video of a Yule log, just the fire going for hours. Maybe you could have Archie cam.
100%. 100%. Or maybe even at a show, we can just strap a GoPro. Like Francis Bourgeois, the train guy from TikTok, and just have it facing Archie's face the whole show.
That's an idea. That's an idea. And again, a great way to support the band. Matt, I'm glad we got the chance to talk again. Thank you so much for making additional time to get together to do this. Now you don't get one appearance, but you get two on Almost Famous Magazine. Hey, everybody, please subscribe and come back. We've got a lot of great artists coming up. We're going to be covering punk rock bowling in Las Vegas this year. I'm going to have a lot of great coverage from there, and just a lot of great names. If you haven't checked us out, we've got videos up by Nashville artist Billy Harvey, Phil Collins' son Nick Collins, a great conversation with. So a lot of great content for you to come back to. So Matt, I'm looking forward to doing this again. Hopefully I'll get over to the UK to be able to check you guys out sometime in the next 6 months to a year as well. And all the best on
and hopefully we can get over to the States to see you.
Well, if that happens, you guys can always crash at my house. And if we're in Las Vegas, the shots of ass juice are on me. So
sounds amazing.
I'm good for that. So it's great to see you, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.